So, my sister wants to be a mom. She wants to adopt a kid and try to save his life or her life. However, I know the truth as to why she really wants a kid, and why she's only going to pick a kid from a foster home who's 16 years or older. Strap your seatbelts for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. I'm a 28-year-old female, and I have a sister who's 36. For the sake of the story, I'll just call Jane. Jane's married to Bob, and they have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. My niece and nephew are wonderful kids, and no trouble at all. They fight as siblings do, but nothing big. I love them. Now, for about 2 years, I did live with my sister. It was a miserable time that really affected our relationship. She saw me as free labor, money, and babysitting. Even when I managed to get a small part-time job, she demanded I hand over nearly half my pay or get out. It was hell as she took completely advantage of me. I moved out as soon as I could, and we've had little contact outside of family gatherings. Now, after I moved out, she started complaining how, quote, she has no help with kids and never gets a break. I babysit sometimes, but I've made it clear. Just 'cause I'm at work doesn't mean I want an 8-hour day with my niece and nephew. Anyways, she started talking about how she wanted to foster a kid. Not a kid, but a teenager. I pressed her for more info on this. She wants to adopt a teenager, so she has a live-in babysitter for her kids. This is her logic. I want kids at around 16 or 17. You know, someone who may have been in the system for a while. They can share a room with your nephew, she only has a 3-bedroom house, or sleep in the garage. They can help me with housework, chores, cook, and help me with my business. She bakes cookies and sells them. Also, babysit the kids so me and Bob can go out sometimes and have some alone time. They'll be so grateful for a home and they will not complain. I won't have to pay them at all, and when they turn 18, I can just sign up for another foster kid. A teenager will be so much easier than a little kid. They'll be grateful for just a roof, food, siblings if they've been separated from the real ones and clothing. I was horrified. Told her it was a horrible idea. Well, she did not listen to me. She went on with it anyways. About a month ago, a social worker showed up at my apartment to ask me some questions about my sister. She had put me down as character witness or something like that. I immediately told the social worker why my sister really wanted a foster kid and how she treated me when I lived with her. The lady thanked me. My sister called crying, saying that she would not be considered for any adoption or fosters. The social worker told her that they felt her home and her just weren't a good fit. She asked if I said anything, and well, I told the truth. She went off on me, hung up, and we haven't spoke since. She has sent me some angry text, and a couple family members are on her side. They think foster kids are ducking dogs or something, and would be so happy just to have a roof, and would gladly do the housework. So guys, I need to know, am I the a-hole in this situation? Here's the top comment. Not the a-hole, you told the truth and saved a teenager from a terrible life of being used and dumped for another, which is no way to treat anyone. It's a foster child, not a slave. Guys, I have to admit, I don't see any fault here by OP because OP did nothing but the right thing in my opinion. Not the a-hole is the major vote on that one, but let me know your thoughts on it. Drop them in the comment section. The next story is, am I the a-hole for inviting all but one of my siblings on vacation? I'm 32 and female, and my husband's 36, and our children typically spend one vacation every year with my older sister Mary, her husband John, and their children. The kids are very close and spend a lot of time together. My sister and I have 2 younger sisters, 31 and 27, and a younger brother who's 25. This year, I extended an invite to sisters, 39, 27, and brother. An invite was not extended to sister Selena because a few years ago, she and my brother-in-law John had an affair. Mary worked very hard through therapy to stay married with John, and not to ostracize Selena. Family members know of the affair, but it's not spoken so openly. Selena and John still see each other at the family events, but do not talk or sit by each other. Pretty awkward, but maybe the best possible outcome. My older sister and I found a beach house for our next vacation that had extra room, so I invited the others to join and pitch in on the cost. Sister agreed to come, the 27-year-old, and little brother declined so that it would not at all be siblings minus Selena. Somehow, Selena found out she was the only one not to receive an invite, and is very hurt. Our mom says I should have invited her, knowing that she would have said no. She just had a baby and is a single mom on a very tight budget. Mom also thinks that a vacation with John, Mary, and Selena would be fine. That we should all act as if nothing ever happened, even though Mary has expressed multiple times that while she still loves Selena, things can never go back to the way they were. Mary suffered PTSD as a result of the affair. Because there are so many siblings, vacations aren't often split with only 2 or 3 of us going. Nobody has expressed being upset about this in the past. I don't like the idea of inviting her, even knowing 99% she'll say no. What if she did say yes, and I have to tell her it wasn't a real invite? Am I the a-hole? This is a sticky situation to be in, guys. Mr. Reddito here. There's an update for it. It's not very big, so we'll jump in it now. Update for anyone curious. Turns out to be a classic case of emotionally immature mother manipulating her children. I spoke with Selena directly at the story straight and reiterate that I love her. It appears that our mom fabricated the story of Selena being upset about the vacation. She understood completely and honestly was not interested in vacationing with Mary or John. Our mom's unhappy about her family dynamic, and things are not completely normal after the affair. She stated she feels like she's losing all her children, and that she doesn't feel close to us. I don't know how stirring up drama fixes this. She's highly religious and critical of everything we do, so as my siblings and I grow older, we've really had to deconstruct our beliefs to make up our own minds and thrive as individuals. Needless to say, this does not make her happy, so if there are any threads on healing from childhood trauma, or dealing with manipulative parents, or heck, just some advice on how to keep your mother at an arm's length, point me in the direction, please. Hey, let me run this by you guys. Oh my gosh, Mom. The relationship is the best that you could ask for, all things considered. Even if John and Mary divorced, you know Selena and Mary would never be the same again. Some people are just delusional. Is this family permanently broken? Is what Selena's done just unrecoverable in the eyes of the family? Let me know in the comment section, even with therapy or whatever happens. Will this family ever be one again? Drop your thoughts down below, and we'll go ahead now and look at the final story of the video. OP's boss tries to strong-arm OP into canceling his Christmas vacation. Well, OP decides chaos that morning. I was brainwashed at an early age that loyalty and hard work would add countless zeros to your paycheck. I remained optimistic after receiving year after years of 3% raises and working holidays. I missed my children's first steps, their school functions, and other life events so I could make the CEO his money. After passing of my stepfather and my boss calling me during the funeral, asking me to troubleshoot an issue, while my mom cried into my shoulder, enough was enough. I changed companies and made a personal pledge to put family first and my career a distant third or fourth. Fast forward to the present day, I find myself as the cornerstone of our department. Many of our client processes are automated through custom API developed by me. I've maintained a thorough documentation library on how to support the API, the reports, and all of its dependencies. I've offered to train backup so we're not a single thread. My manager told me, quote, "No way, we would never do anything to lose you. Up to now, life was good." At the beginning of December, ABC Company was audited by the government and found to be out of compliance. They hired my company to regain their compliance by the end of the year or risk fines near $750,000. ABC Company dragged their feet getting us the information we needed to start the work. I saved my vacation days so I can take the week between Christmas and New Year's off. I spend it with my kids to make up for all the time I lost when I worked when they were younger. This time is very precious to me. Last week and this week, I've been notifying the project manager and my manager about my time off. I let them know I would need ABC Company's information soon so I can start on it. I offered to work extra hours to ensure my piece would be finished prior to Christmas Eve. On Tuesday, my manager calls me, tells me ABC Company finally sent the data over I requested over 2 weeks ago. He looked beaten because he knew what was about to happen. I told him who should I walk through the project with because I'm off after Christmas. My manager says, and I quote, "I'm sorry, but I have to ask you to work. I declined your time next week." I asked, "What happens to my vacation time?" "I'm sorry, you know the rules. Use it or lose it. I fought for you, but HR wouldn't budge." So I drafted my resignation letter after the call, set it to delay delivery on Monday at 8 a.m., and closed up shop. ABC Company will pay $700,000 because nobody knows how to program that system since there's no backup. Our other clients will be expecting their monthly, quarterly, and annual reports within the first week of January. No one knows how to do this. We had 6 projects and the progress involving extensive API and reporting. Now those projects are dead in the water. 7 clients prepaid for the API and automation upgrades in 2022 quarter 1. I don't know what'll happen to those. Please remember, family first, you never get that time back. What's up, guys? This one's a spicy one. There's an update for this story, and we're going to talk about the previous and the present day. This update comes almost 17 days after the original. Manager notified me I would need to work the week between Christmas and New Year's Day, despite me having the week off approved. This determination was made in part of a government contractor, the client, facing a fine due to non-compliance as a result of an audit. Requests for data needed to bring the client into compliance were ignored until days before Christmas. Well, I chose family over company and resigned the Monday after Christmas. Starting the Monday after Christmas, the manager begins to use different types of manipulation techniques and smear campaigns to change my mind. The company's CEO helps strong-arm the process. During this time, a different client sends a corrupted file, and the department processes the file, causing an entire branch of reports to go down. The company is bound by an uptime clause in the contract, causing panic within the company. For every hour the reports are unresponsive, the company is fined per report. I offer various solutions to help the company mediate the solution, but those offers are rejected. So, here's the present day now. Throughout the day, the manager and CEO send a barrage of text and phone calls. One of my coworkers finds the documentation and fixes the reports. Later in the afternoon, he's served corrective action because he was accountable for processing the corrupted file and did not find the documentation faster. He tells me the manager, HR, and the CEO spent all night finding evidence to support the corrective action. I'll tell him to get his resume up to date. Total downtime, 16 hours. Around 3 p.m., I get a phone call from a new number. It was the client's business manager, the liaison between the former company and the client. I explained to her the delay of getting data until Christmas, despite multiple requests, the loss of a full week of paid time off, the text messages and phone calls, and my offer to come back to help the company reach compliance. The business manager told me a different story. The manager and CEO called her earlier to inform her I quit, and I'm, quote, stalling the project as ransom in order to obtain more money. I explained how one could skew this view, but I'm not actively seeking to return. After observing how the company treats their employees, and after being treated post-resignation, I have no interest in returning to the company. The business manager asked me what terms, rate, signing bonus, etc., was I seeking to return to my former company. She tells me she'll call back in an hour and not respond to any more texts from my manager or CEO. CEO text said this: "Did the business manager call you? Did she give you a piece of her mind?" Manager text: "I bet the business manager's going to make you personally pay for that fine." So, the business manager calls me back on a conference call and asks, quote, "What do you need to finish this project? Software, data, tools, etc. Let me see it all." So, I gave her a list of everything I need. I answer other questions related to the project, and she says, "Here's the plan. We're going to offer you a contract to finish this API for us by the end of the year for double the hourly rate you asked. If you finish this by 12/31, we will give you the signing bonus. After the new year, we will see where we're staffing-wise, and maybe we can find you a spot. There's no guarantee, especially if you do not finish the project. Is that a deal?" So, I agree. I'm going to sign those terms. I informed to put terms in writing, and I can start as soon as it gives me in a virtual machine. The business manager says, "No problem. Legal checked the contract, and there's no clause stating if your former company is unable to perform a function which they agreed to do, we are able to outsource it to a third party and charge the company for it. I just need them to state they are unable to perform the API function, and we'll bill them for your time." So this was the top comment. It's just one sentence. It says this: "So, a coworker finally fixes the problem, and they punish him for not fixing it faster?" Wow. Exactly, guys. I thought the same. Let me know what you thought of that story. Drop your opinion, share your work stories, or whatever you want to share in the comment section. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.